Good morning, students. All of you mute your mobiles. Last class, I was explaining about MEMS. What are MEMS? I will recollect what I explained last classes. MEMS means it is the micro electromechanical system. So the micro electromechanical system, it is the integrated of electro and mechanical system. Why we can prefer this system means basically for the programming technology will be improved. According to that, the transistor programming technology, it will be inserted into a single IC. So in IC fabrication, the important role is MEMS technology. So that's why this MEMS was introduced at 1980s. So the MEMS technology was introduced at 1980s. So the MEMS, it is the integrated of electromechanical system. So what are the main parts of the MEMS? Remember all of you? What are the main parts, main components of the MEMS? Sensors and actuators. So sensors means, what is the function of sensors? It is the gather of the information from the surrounding areas, sensors. And it is the discovered from the Greek word center. From that we can consider the sensors. So center means it is the gather the information from the nearer areas. So this sensor device we are using in electronics mostly. And the another part of the MEMS or another block of the important part of the device in MEMS is actuators. So actuators we are using in the mechanical system. How we can use that? By controlling the system. When we can operate any system, we can control on and off. So that is the controlling of the system. So that we are using in the mechanical system. So that's why these two are the important devices in MEMS technology. So here the sensors are, what is the basic function of the sensors? Basic function of the sensors is, it is the acting like a transducer device. What is the transducer? Already I explained in the last class. For example, we can take in the communication system, for the communication system, transmitter, after that modulation part, then channel, after that modulation, then receiver. So modulation is mute. I love to meet the sensors, actuators, sensors it acts like a conversion from one form to the another form. The function of the sensor is the conversion of non-electrical or physical or chemical system into the electrical system. Example, we can take the microphones. Transducer, transducer is different from the sensor. Both are not same. So that is the sensor is the conversion only from the non-electrical into the electrical. But whereas consider the transducer device is, it is the conversion of one sensor. రికార్డ్ అవుతుంది ఇక్కడ. Okay. So the micro sensors, we having the main important role of the MEMS technology. The basic components of the micro electromechanical system, that are the what are the main components of these are microelectronics, microsensors, microactuator, and microstructures. So microsensors means is the brain function. I already explained last class also. So that is receives and processes. After that, it will make the decisions. It data comes from microsensors only. So the brain that receives or processes and make the decisions, and its data comes from the microsensors. So this is the microelectronics. Whereas the microsensors is also a gather the information from the environment, from the surrounding areas. So it can monitor the mechanical system or thermal system, biological system, and the chemical reading, everything. Next, what is micro actuator? So micro actuator. So this actuator belongs to the mechanical system, and also it acts as a active and external device only. So like control the system means on off means we can trigger the device for external device is there. So for that we can on the device, the system will be running. We can off the device, the system will be stopped. Likewise, we can take the micro actuator. Next, microstructures, extremely small structures built onto surface on chip. So here, the structure will be considered for a tech any IC. IC fabrication, the surface area we have to consider, that is the structure. Like already explained that, suppose we can take any building. For that building internally we having like bedroom, kitchen, or drawing hall, likewise. So outside looking it will be considered only building only. Likewise we can take the structure. So we have to remember the same way. Next, what are the applications we are using in a MEMS technology? For example, we can take a smartphones. In our smartphones, we having internally memory cards or RAM. So these all those things are inserted into a IC chip only. So next, tablets, cameras, gaming devices, and many other electronics have MEMS technology inside of them. For example, we can show here, these all are belongs to the ICs only. Remember here. So this IC is inserted suppose in our processor or computer or laptop. So you can take a device, any device. So that inside it's having a IC. Then only the programming will be developed. So we have to run the coding. We can take the result. We can execute the result for anything. We are using this ICs. So that is the where we are use the MEMS. Next. What are the applications of the MEMS? So applications. So the applications, I already explained what are the applications we can consider. Industrial wide, we are using the MEMS technology. How we can say industrial wide means, like for example, we can take a VLSI. VLSI means very large VLS, VLS, very large scale integrated circuit. So that means integrated circuit. So internally it's having the more number of the ICs, more number of the ICs, not only single IC, more number of the ICs. Then the programming will be developed. So you have to remember first industrial wise and medical wise. So medical wise, we can take the example for a diabetic patient, you can pump the insulin. For a diabetic patient, you can pump the insulin. So for that, the patient, that means the insulin is belongs to the medical field. So we can use in the medical field also the MEMS technology. Next, biomedical applications. And biomedical applications, I will show the slide. So these are the biomedical applications. What are that? Usually in the form of the pressure sensors. Pressure sensors means suppose we have to check our BP in our body, blood pressure. So by using the blood pressure sensor, so this is the blood pressure sensor. So the blood pressure sensor on the head of a pin. So we can know the circulation, blood circulation in our body by using this pressure sensors. Next, intracranial pressure sensors, pacemaker applications, implanted coronary pressure measurements, intraocular pressure monitors, cerebrospinal fluid pressure sensors, endoscope pressure sensors, infusion pump sensors, retinal prosthesis. So these all are belongs to biomedical terminology. So here for each and every body, each and every part in our body, we can check. For example, we have to check our eyesight. How you check it? We can focus a light. After sensing, we are using in that medical side. That is the sensing light, sensor lights we are using there. So for that cases, endoscope for pressure sensors when we are using, we can find out in our body based on that pressure sensor, we can identify that or you can detect the what is the disease like all. Okay. Next, cell, antibody, DNA, RNA, these all are belongs to the biomedical applications. Next, another applications are inertial sensors, MEMS accelerometer, MEMS gyroscope. So here, what is MEMS accelerometer? This is the MEMS accelerometer. Here this is the spring. So this is the proof mass, and here capacitor plate. So these all are inserted into a IC, and here the MEMS gyroscope. So this we are using in the mechanical system. Next, another one is the automobile. Another application is the automobile. How you consider the automobile? That we can take the car. For your driving seat front side, it's having the airbag. When suppose any accident is there, at that time the airbag will be opened automatically after the accident. That's why all are saying while you are driving time you can wear seat belt. So it will protect your life. Without a belt, without wearing the belt, suppose airbag opened also, if you are crossed outside, what we can do? Nothing is there. So that's why when you are wearing the seat belt, after that, suppose any accident is there, at that time the airbag will be open. You just hold on that bag only. Then you don't have any injury due to the incident like that. Okay, so that is the main important in our MEMS technology. So likewise, we can protect our lives by using this technology. Okay, that is in the automobile case. Suppose another application we can take inkjet printers. So inkjet printers, here you have to take printouts or any slides, some sharing your printouts likewise. And another application is the video projectors. So for that also you can take the video projectors by using the MEMS technology. So that is the one more application of the MEMS technology. So another one is the optical MEMS. So optical MEMS means optical switches and digital micro mirror devices, bistable mirrors, laser scanners, optical shutters, and dynamic micro mirror displays. So these all are belongs to optical MEMS. Simply we have to remember the optical fiber lights. So when it will be some making by using the sensor, at the time when while crossing the flower vase it will be blink. After crossing the flower vase again it will be blink. So that means when the sensing is there, sensing means it gather the information surrounding areas. After sensing that it will be blinking or it will be lightning. After that it will be off. So while without any person not at that time, it will not show the light. So likewise we can take the optical MEMS also. So that is the one of the additional applications. So that means what we are using MEMS technology in electronics, mechanical and automobiles, medical, communication field. So RF MEMS means it is the based on the radio frequency signals. So that's why we are using in all areas the MEMS technology. We can take in all areas, we can develop the MEMS technology. So that's why it is very important role in the electronics and the mechanical system also. Next. Next, what are the sensors and actuators? So before going to the sensors and actuators, first we have to know about the sensors process. What is the sensors process? That is the sensor process is, we can consider the sensor information process. Sensor information process, we can take here. The main blocks are sensing and processing and actuator. So these three important blocks we can consider. So that is the sensor information system, processing system. So here the sensor information processing system, we are using the inputs. What type of input? So what type of input? Here the inputs in this terminology we are using the instead of input measurements. So what are the measurements we can consider for inputs? So what type of system we can consider the measurements means? That all are in the form of the mechanical system or electrical system or chemical system or radiation system, magnetic system, biochemical system. These all are, we can give the input and input system only. Then after processing, actuator. So actuator is there. So the actuator device is, it is the converted into the electrical signal into the non-electrical signal, or electrical quantity into the non-electrical quantity. So last I explained in the what communication system, transmitter. After that we having the modulation through the channel, demodulation, receiver. So here in place of modulation we are using the transducer. The transducer function is the main function is the, it is the conversion of one form into the another form. Here in the same way you remember here for sensor process system, sensors information processing system. Here measurement system is input system. Measurement means inputs types only. So the sensor is the conversion of from non-electrical signal into the electrical signal. Next, suppose it is the process. The process is meanwhile device will be process the system. Then after that it is the actuator. Suppose for example I shows like that only. So actuator. So actuator means it is the again converted into the non-electrical signal into the non-electrical signal. So measurement system, suppose it is the measurement is the chemical system. That means input system is in the form of the chemical quantity. We have to get the output system in the form of the output quantity only. How it will be processed? Meanwhile, it will be processing. So where you can conversion the system, sensor, one conversion, non-electrical into electrical, again actuator, again converted into electrical into non-electrical. For example, input is here, we can take chemical system, and here actuator, that chemical system converted into the output form also chemical system only. So that's why we are using here sensor, process and actuator. This is the sensor information processing system. Okay, so the sensor, I mean, you have to collect your material. There it's having the clear block diagrams. So you can you having the clear material also. See, so you can remember here sensor information processing system. There you can consider three important blocks. What are the three important blocks? Sensor, processor, actuator. First one is the sensor, another one is the processor, third one is the actuator. So for sensor, input in the form of the non-electrical form. So whatever it may be forms of that like mechanical, chemical or physical, anything, radiation system, thermal system, whatever it may be. So that quantity will be conversion in the sensor. So non-electrical quantity converted into the electrical quantity. So meanwhile it will be processed in the device. After that actuator, again electrical signal or electrical quantity converted into the non-electrical quantity. So that non-electrical quantity, example we can take the chemical. Suppose for it is the thermal system. We can give here the input system is the thermal system. There the output also we have to get in the form of the thermal system only. So that means what? Same form or same quantity we have to get by using the sensor information processing system. That is the sensor information processing system. Remember all of you here, this is the sensor information processing system. So here today we learn these all those things. All of you recollect that. Okay. Thank you. Download the attendance.